So, Omari, I want to get your opinion on this next story. This is spicy and crazy. Mississippi School District is announcing the return of corporal punishment, you guys, for students through paddle use. Can you believe this? It may be hard to believe, but back in the day, schools did have the authority to physically discipline children. Well, they're bringing it back. They're running it back, you guys, and they're saying that this is going to be a form of punishment that, if all else fails, they want to be able to paddle your kids. And so the school superintendent, her name is Merle Johnson. She spoke out about, the concern that some parents had about this, because of course there's going to be some pushback. Well, she says this. She says corporal punishment will be used only when the other means of discipline have failed, and then only in a reasonable form when the principal approves it. They went on to further note that administrators stated that they don't believe that corporal punishment will be used very often, but when it is used, it will be by an administrator only in the presence of another school district employee. Child, I don't know about this. I know some of these kids are off the hook, but I don't want nobody else whooping my baby. I don't know. Omari, what you say? You a father of three?
Yeah, man. Have you been to some of these kids is up the goddamn wall, man?
I
You know what I'm saying?
know.
Like, I mean, it's unfortunate. Let's just be clear. It's unfortunate that a lot of kids that are in school, the only time that they ever see any discipline is in school. You know what I'm saying? And the teachers catch hell. Cause them kids be like, my mama don't even tell me what to do. How you gonna tell me what to do? My daddy don't tell me what to do. You know, man, what? It's wild. And I mean, the thing is we've now put our teachers in a position of catch all. The teachers have to catch all, man. The teachers have to catch, you know what I'm saying? They have to deal with if the kid might have issues in the home, if these kids are malnutritioned, if they're not, you know what I'm saying? If nobody's at home helping them with their stuff, you got to be on the lookout for abuse. You got to be on the lookout. Like, man, the teachers is a lot going on. And I mean, I got some issues with corporal punishment in Mississippi, of all places. Like, I'm not really feeling that per se. But all I am saying is that on a larger issue of discipline in schools, unfortunately, we got a lot of young people who have never had no kind of discipline ever. I mean, if you was to go home with them, and I've been home with a few of them, I mean, it's like they run the house. You know what I'm saying? They don't knock on nobody's door. They just walk in. They take this, they do that. And I'd be like, man, who's running this home here? So, I mean, if people feel that way at home, imagine how they feel at school. I don't know if whooping on them in Mississippi. We was just down there in Mississippi. And so I got some real concerns about that. But I do know that our educators face a challenge with these young people.
Well, I'm looking in the comments, and Maggie and our our crew is bringing up a lot of heavy points. One, is this going to be used fairly? Like, are we thinking about, when we think about the disbursement of discipline, are we thinking about our black boys who are normally targeted for bad behavior, when really they just need a different kind of learning style or something like that? So are we going to be targeting different kids that we don't like? I mean, teachers will build a bias, against a child that they don't like, especially, these kids can be petty, okay? And they talk back and they do this and that. And so it can be a lot. And so I think we're asking so much of our teachers to step into a role of a guardian or a parent, or even just a family member. We're asking so much when, you and I had a discussion last week about parents really needing to step up and be better parents. I don't think adding the use of paddles to discipline children in school is going to change their overall behavior. There has to be something that's a deeper root to it. If kids go to school and they start getting whooped on, they're probably just going to stop going to school. But
Or they gonna come back with the strap.
or they're going to come back and shoot the school up, right?
Yeah,
There, and then
100%.
think about being the administrator who has to actually implement the use of the paddle. Like, I don't want to be in that position. Like, you don't take a job being like, I got to actually whoop some ass today. Like, I didn't sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I hear you guys in the comments.
I think that's to be honest with you, these days, I think that's dangerous. This isn't, corporal punishment was put in place. It was a different environment, and it wasn't the school shootings, it wasn't this and that. I mean, an educator has it's a real concern about somebody coming for him, like for real. This isn't 20 years ago or whatever, man. I mean, you sit there and paddle these kids might come back for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just different now.
And the
And so yeah,
parents.
uh-huh.
I'm saying, and the parents might come back for you. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
It's like,
yeah.
here's the thing. It's like the administrator's like, hey, Jules, your daughter's in class today. She received a paddle. We used the paddle on her today. Got that bad. I'm pulling up to work and she comes home and her ass is all lit up. It's just, there's just too many things that can go wrong. I don't see how this will be physically possible. Maybe they are just implementing this new rule or this policy to scare kids, so that is just a form of discipline that's on the table, but they never actually implement it. I don't know. That maybe be the case to kind of keep some kids in line. But again, kids do need discipline, and they need more structure. And I think especially coming off the heels of COVID and things being different and more relaxed, we have to tighten up as parents, as a village, as a community, to make sure that we implement a stronger structure for kids to know that this is the way things are going to roll. Because students right now can be lazy if you let them, right? They can be disrespectful if you let them, but it takes people saying, that's not cool. This is not how you speak to somebody. We need to go back to the, having more manners, having more discipline, and really utilizing all of our resources as a collective and saying, actually, we're not doing that, and stopping that stuff at the root, and seeing what that root causes, and calling parents to the table and saying, actually, you need to do something about your child. What is going on at home where, they're being so disruptive, or they're clowning around, or they're doing this, because it's a lot of stress on teachers. I've seen teachers single out kids because they just don't like them. And that's not the way to go either. So we have to have some more roundtable conversations. We got to implement some more services. We need to open up these rec centers, bring back these mentors, fund some programs so kids can be outside of the house to get the mentors and the leadership that they need, especially if they're not getting it at home with their families.
Yeah, no, I hear you 100%. And I know you got break coming up, so I would just say this is that every time. So Brandon Hersey is now the school board president here in the city of Seattle. And even when he was a director, and even when he was running for that special position, when it first opened up, I always say it's because people are like, oh, the teachers, the this and that. And I be like, man, y'all got to hold these parents accountable. Why don't you guys do doing some parent attendance? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's accountable? Like, we be ready to show up when our kid gets suspended or this and that and call out the school, but it'd be interesting to be like, how many times have you been to the school before that? Have you even looked at your kid's syllabus? You know what I'm saying? Do you even know your kids' teachers' names? Do you check for their homework? And so yeah, it's a big issue at school, because we have, unfortunately, not a lot. There's definitely a percentage of parents who are just, man, they're on autopilot, and they're letting the schools basically are raising the kids.